Japan versus France reaches its unsuitable conclusion. Blue Lock Chapter 3047 has released its officials titled Destiny, so without further ado, let's get into it. So the chapter starts immediately where the last one left off, with both Isagi and Rin aiming for their own goal, both about to kick the exact same ball, with Rin in his Destroyer aura and Isagi in his white-haired form. They both connect with the ball as it rockets past both Shido and Bato with surprised expressions on their face, as Renor looks to try to intercept the ball that both of them had just kicked. As the ball soars through the air, Renor reaches out for said ball as it gets right past him, only for it to be a brick and hit the crossbar, as both Isagi and Rin look on in absolute shock. As the ball is now loose in the air, none other than Loki rushes to get the ball the exact same way he has all game. Kurosu, Shido, and Bato looking on, knowing they can't do anything to stop it. As Loki in the next page gets past Kunigami and Kurosu, he says bye-bye Blue Lock in the flow, with Otoya being the person he has to get by next. As Loki in the next page manages to get past all the other Blue Lock defenders, Isagi looks on in horror, saying, "Shit, I drew Hugo into a luck of battle and I beat him one-on-one, and yet Rin showed up at the last second and messed up my shot's impact. If Rin hadn't been there, it would have been my goal." As both Isagi and Rin stand there, unable to do anything, as Hugo runs back, as Isagi thinks back to what Ego said by saying, "If Rin hadn't been there," with Ego saying, "You're all strikers, keep trying for your own goals until the very last second." As this catches Isagi off guard, saying, "Huh?" But according to that philosophy, Rin was correct in trying to score a goal. But if that ends up being why we lose, then Ego's theory, as Loki gets by Aiku, causing Aiku to slide, not doing a damn thing, Isagi says Blue Lock itself failed, asking the question that that's the case, with Gagamaru managing to fail at blocking the goal from Loki, essentially ending the game 4-2. With the announcer saying, "Goal! Julian Loki broke past 6 players in a mega counter to score a 4th point for France's Kings." As the Japanese audience looks on in horror and absolute disgust, with the ref calling the game and the announcer saying, "I don't believe it." And now that was the pitiless game-ending whistle. Surpassing all of Blue Lock strikers, is anyone closer to being the world's best than Loki the Prodigy? With a score of 2-4 in Japan versus France, Blue Lock Japan has lost, as Henri looks on in horror and Ego is completely unfazed, while everyone else on the field is tired as shit. Loki then starts yawning and says, "Boring. Glad that's over. Guess the popular Blue Lock wasn't all it's cracked up to be. Well, I guess I did get a little tingle." As Hugo says, "Yeah, as a team full of strikers, they refuted their own philosophy and failed. A group of egoists whose destiny is to never reach the World Cup, and more suitable to scatter to the winds with their objective unfulfilled." With Hugo looking back, saying, "So long, Blue Lock. You are cogs in my destiny and we won't meet again." As we hear someone say, "So long, my ass." As Isagi shit talks Hugo, saying, "My luck obliterated your precious theory, and you know it too." As Hugo looks back, "It wasn't just Blue Lock that failed. Your suitable destiny theory is full of shit too. But you talk about humanity's legends or winning the World Cup 4 times. As we see Isagi in a double page saying, "Don't run from your destiny. You lost to me, you second best bastard." As in the final page of Blue Lock Chapter 347, France walks off the field with Hugo giving Isagi a peace sign saying, "You're a real pain. Until next time, egoist." As the narrator says, U20 World Cup Group League Match 3, Japan versus France. France wins 2-4. All in all, 2 things can be right at once. Ego's philosophy could have been wrong in that instance, but also Rin can't seem to control his own emotions. That's why Ego sent him to that specialized training. So you can't really blame it specifically on Ego because the philosophy didn't work, so to speak. Honestly, it's Ren's emotions just getting out of check and causing him to do what he did. Honestly, you could argue it wasn't even Ren going for his goal. He was just obsessed with Isagi for leaving him behind. So take that for what you will, but I'm led to believe that that's the case. Loki talking shit, acting like he wasn't trying when he definitely was and got cooked multiple times in this match, was also in the flow. He definitely was trying. Hugo was also trying. Maybe not to 100%, of course, but they were definitely still trying. But now the next game involves England, and England is going to really have to take this into consideration, knowing they're going to be going up against a pissed off Japan. If they don't bring their A game, they will get punched in the mouth. It is going to happen. I see it time and time again in any game ever. A team that should have won but ended up losing is very, very mad, and they will take that into their next game, and you will see that shown off. But let me know what you all thought about this chapter down below. I think it's a very, very unfortunate end for Japan. But now you can't use the argument that Isagi has plot, that he's a luck merchant, that he's a last-minute goal scorer, or that he's never lost a game. No one can ever say that anymore. Ever. It is now invalid.